All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man, Jay, Tesla. So you've seen me post a lot of videos on, buying a Tesla, getting more off of inventory with the discount link that I have. So that continues. If you use the link, you get $2,000 off minimum. It recently changed to this. So I posted some previous videos on getting a minimum of $1,000 off. Well, Tesla upped it. They say if you refer people, they're going to get $2,000 off. I'm like, whoa. So when you use the link in the description, you're going to get minimum $2,000 off a brand new Tesla. But I suggest that you find your spec in inventory, because a lot of times you can find brand new in inventory, even if it has like 5 miles or 6, 7, 10 miles. I think a car in their inventory under 200 miles, 500 miles, under 1,000 miles, those are still brand new cars, folks. And you can save even more money on them. Like if you see demo cars that have 1,500 miles, it's going to be a high discount on them, folks. And I suggest you take that route, because with the Teslas, you're not in that form right there. You're getting still the full 50,000 miles or 4-year bumper to bumper warranty. So as long as you're not buying a car that's an older model, you're getting your money's worth, folks. Believe me when I tell you. So, but if you're that person that wants to order a brand new car, you just need to place the order before December 15th. So at the recording of this video, it is December 5th. So you have a full 10 days to get this, get yourself in there and get yourself $2,000 off minimum. I mean, you heard that right. Tesla doubled it. And so instead of giving you $1,000 off, when you use the link, you get a minimum of $2,000 off. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Yes, I get kickbacks on you using a referral link, but that really doesn't matter, because now you can refer people. Once you buy a Tesla, you can now refer people. Once you take ownership of the car, you now are in the referral program, and you'll see it within your application where you can just refer people to Tesla, and you can get Tesla credits as well. So I highly recommend, and salute to all the people that have used the link so far. When Tesla in 2023, when Tesla came about with the referral program, when I bought my first Tesla in 2023, I referred probably over 100 people. Sometimes there's perks to referring people, but it was the credit system back then. And it's still technically a credit system. Now they just switched it to convert it to wallet. So you can pretty much buy things in there differently, in their Tesla ecosystem differently. And now you can actually use the money for down payments on other cars or buy other cars with the credits. So owning a Tesla isn't just you using the link and you getting $2,000 off minimum, or you getting even more when you buy out of inventory. It's more of like you become, that's when you buy a Tesla, you'll see in your app, it says, welcome to the Tesla family. There's just some unique things about owning a Tesla. And at this stage, I can't believe that I'm so far in with Tesla, because I was totally against EVs. And then all of a sudden I drove one, and that did it for me. I was like, yeah, this is definitely the way more comfortable ride. No more fuel, no more gas station run, anything like that. So, charging, I want to answer a question about charging. I've been getting a lot of people ask questions about, should I buy one if I can't charge at home? Well, the short answer is you probably can charge anywhere. And I'm assuming these people are talking about level 2 charging at home, because when you buy your Tesla, you also should drop in there. Go ahead and put in your cart. You have to pay for it up front, but still, it's worth the deposit and to get there to make sure you get it. So it'll be inside it. It'll ship separately. But, you definitely should get a mobile charger, because it has both adapters on there, and you'll get the level 2 adapter, 1450 NEMA, and then you also get a regular house plug. Folks, I've went over this before. You really should just leave according to Tesla, this is them, not me, you should always have your car plugged up at home, even when it's not in use, because you're not pulling any energy, just having it plugged in. You want it to always stay at the recommended charge that they give you. So it could be 100 for the LFP battery or 80 for all the other Teslas. So I definitely keep the cars plugged up here. I have level 2 charging, but also I have it split. Like on the side where my Model 3 is, that's just a regular level 1 charging, where it's the slowest charging ever. But overnight, folks, and through some hours, you can pick up several miles. You can get your battery from 20% to 60%, just letting it sit there. I've done it before to test it out, to see how long it really takes. But it's always good to have level 2. But I'm assuming these people who are asking about the charging are wondering, should they buy one if they don't have level 2 charging at their house? And the answer is yes. You can supercharge anywhere. Supercharging can get really expensive, but when you're buying a Tesla, you need to be buying it with the mindset you're going to charge at home. That's the real savings, because instead of filling up a gas vehicle at $55 twice a week, depending on how you commute, or once a week, depending on how you commute, that's a lot of money in comparison to charging a Tesla at home. It's going to be pennies on the dollar. Like literally, I've told you guys a million times, in 2023, I only spent $108 to charge one of my Teslas, period. That was it for the entire year. So, because Tesla, the way they rates their charging, they do it a little differently. They make it seem like when you look in the app, it looks like you're not saving as much. But when you do the calculations yourself, like it looks like you're saving a pretty decent amount. I'm not saying you're not saving money, but it comes to more when I calculate it real world, like by hand myself, because I still have a gas vehicle. I have a gas vehicle. I have my 24 Corvette E-Ray, and it takes premium fuel. So that car costs about $50 to fill up on average, depending on how the prices are. So at about $3 a gallon, sometimes that car can cost about $50 to $60 sometimes. And that's where our gas is right now, about $3, $2.99 for premium. Depending, I have Costco. So Costco's is always, I have Sam's also. So those two are always a little bit lower than most gas stations, but Costco seems to be the best place, and that I get fuel, because it's always the lower amount, but it's still high for premium, which is about $3. But I know in California and other places, gas is $5 to $7, but still, nonetheless, that question of should I buy one even though I can't charge at home? Well, what's stopping you from charging at home? Because you can plug in a level 1 charger anywhere. You can if you go to your parents' house, put it on the charger. If you go anywhere that has a level 1 plug, take your mobile, and it's a convenient spot. Take your mobile 1 charger with you, your level 1 charger with you, and you plug in and just leave your car plugged in. Ask if you're going to visit someone, hey, can I plug in my car? It's not going to charge you. It shouldn't cost you 50 cents or $1 for me to plug up. And they're going to be like, man, I don't care. More than likely. So always plug your car in, even when it's not in use. That's per Tesla. Tesla says to leave your car plugged in. You can schedule charging. You can do it all at home. So for the people that say, if I can't charge at home, also those might be people that are talking about apartment complexes. So here's my thoughts on that. If you live in an apartment complex, I'm hearing that some apartment complexes now have spots for Teslas to charge. So that's great. But if your spot does not have your complex does not have a spot to charge, this is going to sound crazy, but depending on how your complex is built, how close you are to your car, you could just run an extension cord out to your car and always have your car plugged up while you can monitor it. Like if you live on the first or second floor, or it's just at a spot where it's convenient if you can see your car at all times, drop a charger down, because you can plug the level 1 into any regular house plug, 12 volts. So that's an option for you. But if you live in an apartment and you really want a Tesla, and I've talked to people and I've seen people that live in complexes and they have Teslas. They either supercharge or they charge at work, and it's really convenient to charge at work. I've seen a lot of places now where there's like these single mobile station out in the middle of the parking lot at their corporation, and they say they limit it to 3 to 4 hours each car or whatever. But again, those are options for you. You can plug up. There are level 1 chargers outside of most buildings, and you can just run your mobile charger to it if your job says it's okay. It's not costing them pretty much anything when you're using level 1, but I would say that if you live in an apartment and you really want a Tesla, you're going to have to figure out if it's worth supercharging for you, because there are people that only supercharge. I predominantly, on my cars, on my Model Y, it's charged at home. It stays on the charger at home. My Model S Plaid, it does not. I supercharge that car 100% of the time. I do plug it up at home sometimes. Like example, sometimes I'll charge both of the cars to 100%. And I'll just plug it up, just do it once a month. Maybe I'll plug them up at home and let it charge to 100%. I don't do that at a supercharger, because that lasts 80% to 100%, and especially 90 to 100. It's a long wait. It could be like 2 hours on a level 2 at home. So I'd rather do it there. But at a supercharger, it'll be about 45 minutes for that long stretch from 80 to 100, because the battery starts to trickle down and go a little bit slower when you're charging. But I've definitely charged at home to 100% every now and then, just to get the battery up to capacity and then run it down again. But again, if you live in an apartment, I supercharge. Now I don't pay for supercharging, but still, the goal, I think, for people who live in an apartment, or what should be going through your mind if you live in an apartment, if you own a Tesla, do you have the money to, or is the gas savings that you have from a gas car a lot more? You know, it's like, are you saving enough money to where even if you supercharge twice or once a week? Because when you think about that, that's depending on which Tesla you have. If you have a Tesla with a longer range, like if you have a long range Model S or a long range Model 3 rear wheel drive, that's 400 plus miles on the Model S. And then that's 360 miles on the Model 3. You won't need to charge that much depending on where you live from your job or what you're doing with your activities outside. And also, if you don't slam on the accelerator a lot and you're in chill mode when you're actually commuting, you will save a ton of range. You'll get even more range than what's advertised. So people who live in apartments, I would say if you're really wanting a Tesla, go for the long range versions of them. Go for the ones that have the higher mileage, and then that will save you a ton of cash. So when you do supercharge, also supercharging later in the evening time is when the prices are the lowest. Peak time I've seen where I live at is about 37 cents a kilowatt. And that came from my Model S. That came to about $15 or something like that. 15 to 17 bucks. And on the Model Y, it was, I don't know, for a full charge, maybe $17 or $16. But you weigh in that factor, and I think you'll be fine versus the gas savings. Like the money that you would be spending on fuel is way more, because one fill up on most cars is between 30 to 50 bucks. Almost a lot of cars, gas cars, are at least 30 bucks because the pricing of fuel fluctuates a lot more than Tesla's pricing for charging. Keep that in mind. I have a gas vehicle, so I monitor both. I look at the gas prices and I look at what Tesla's doing. And most of the time what Tesla's doing, I've never spent more than 18 bucks to supercharge. So, and that was at peak time. And sometimes if I'm not doing anything, I just want to cruise out. I want to shop in the evening time at the grocery store or whatever. I'll go and plug the car up. I'll make sure it's low enough. And that's the thing about supercharging. You don't want to go to a supercharger if you're like 50% or above. You won't get the fastest charging speeds. And that's pretty much what it's going to be for. You're going to find that it's charging a little bit slower. If you're too close to, like if your car is a car that has to be at 80% for daily use, you'd want to go to the supercharger when it's closer to like 20% or so. And then you always navigate to the supercharger so it can condition the battery. And then it'll get the battery hotter, and then you'll get the faster charging speeds. When at home though, you can condition your battery at home. You can schedule your battery to precondition. And then when you start charging at home, you'll get even faster speeds. But for me at home, I just plug up. I don't really care how long it takes at home, because most of the time I'm just letting it sit on the charger and that's it. I don't really care. I'm not even paying attention to it. I'm in the house doing something else. But sometimes I let the car sit on the level 1 charger overnight just to see how much it can actually get. And it charges fairly. You can get a lot of miles back. But that seems to be the thing for a lot of people. Should I buy one if I live in an apartment? What if I can't charge at home? I would say after owning EVs for the last 2.5 years or 2 years or so, and owning gas vehicles, I think you're always going to be saving money. It's just a matter of, how much you supercharge. There are people out there I've seen, in a full year, they spent maybe $1,000. No, there's this one guy who posted online. He drove in his brand new Tesla. Wow, it was impressive. He drove in his brand new Tesla. Let me see if I can find it. He spent about $2,900 on supercharging, but he drove about 17,000 miles. I was shocked. I was like, whoa, this person put a lot of miles on their car. Let me see if I can find it here. Hopefully I can find this. I don't think I can find it. I won't bother looking, but I remember, I don't want to do it while I'm on the video, but I remember this guy drove a ton of miles in 1 year, and he did spend about $2,800 on supercharging, but he drove like almost 20,000 miles. Now, if you convert that to a gas vehicle, he probably spent $7,500 or $8,000 on fuel driving like that. So the gas savings is one thing, but no maintenance is another. That's a big one. The only maintenance you should have to do on this car is make sure your tires are good and make sure there's windshield wiper fluid. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else, and keep the car clean. I don't know. There's nothing else that you really need to do to own a Tesla. Really, there's not. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys, you have until December 15th to save at least $2,000. I highly recommend that you go into your, after you use the link, it'll say, hey, John gave you $2,000 off of this Tesla. If you have a spec in mind, go into the inventory and search for it. You for sure will find it. And you'll be able to probably get even more money off than buying like exclusively built for you. And again, it may have 5 miles on it, 10 miles on it, who knows, but they're still brand new vehicles. And I believe Tesla now has converted over the numbers to 2025. All the Teslas now that people are posting their 2025 Teslas. Not that it matters, but they've moved the year on, I believe. So you'll start to see 2024 in the inventory section sometimes. It's the same car as the 2025. There's nothing different, depending if you look at the range on there. So there are some 2024 Model Ys that have that 260 mile range on the rear wheel before they release the other one. So just be careful. Look for what you want. Look at the range. Make sure it is something that you actually are looking for in spec. And then hit that buy button. Don't forget to order your mobile charger. This is just a video to help those people that ask all the time. I see these comments all the time in my sections asking about, should I buy if I live in an apartment? What if I can't charge at home? Yeah. And if you have other questions, leave them down below. I've owned a Tesla now for, like I said, about a little over 2 years. Different models too. I've had a Model 3, 2 Model 3s, a Model Y, and the Plaid now. So yes, I canceled my Cybertruck order after all those years. I just couldn't do it once I saw it in person. Like the Cybertrucks, you know, I don't know if I'm ready to go Cybertruck yet though. And the Model X, I like it. I just didn't really have a need for a Model X. But nonetheless, if you have questions about owning a Tesla and what the charging, I've made videos like this in the past, but it's always good to update sometimes when Tesla's doing some kind of promo, because Tesla will drop these promos at the drop of a dime. They'll just change them. Like my Model S Plaid has the new seats, the Recaro seats in there. And there are people that had just bought the Model S Plaid and they don't have those. And I know that was extremely frustrating, but that's just how it goes. The market is going to flip flop like that. There's really nothing you can do about it. So if you have questions about owning a Tesla, leave them down below. I'll try to help you out. But like I said, you have until December 15th to just place an order to get the $2,000 off, because after December 15th, they take away the double bonus for your credits for getting the 2,000. I think it goes back to 1,000 or whatever they're offering at the time. And on top of that, you get 3 months of free supercharging. So that helps those people out, and 3 months of full self-driving. So there's a lot that comes with that $2,000. You get $2,000 minimum off the car, full self-driving, and supercharging for 3 months free. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. I'll be sure to try to answer them. And this video is because I do get a lot of questions about the cars. So I'll see you next video. Once again, I'll say that again. I said that like 5 times already. Hit the link in the description, buy yourself a new Tesla, and enjoy this side of life with no maintenance, no oil changes, no transmission fluid leaks. No, none of those things. Not putting down gas vehicles, because remember, I still own V8s. However, if you're daily driving something like an EV, you will see the benefits instantly in your pocket. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.